Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in our earlier video, we have studied about autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition and the process of photosynthesis. Now in this video, we will study about saprotrophic nutrition, symbiotic relationship and how plants absorb nitrogen. So let's start now. So let's start saprotrophic nutrition. So in our last video, we studied about autotrophic nutrition in which organisms are able to manufacture their own food, and heterotrophic nutrition in which organisms directly or indirectly are dependent on other organisms for their food. Now in this video, we will study about saprotrophic nutrition. Okay, so saprotrophic nutrition is that nutrition in which organisms take nutrients from dead and decayed matter. Okay, so like fungus. So fungus take nutrients from dead and decayed matter. So this fungus is a decomposer. Fungus is a decomposer. Why it is a decomposer? Because it takes nutrients from dead and decayed matter. So now we have seen fungus grown different items that are left in hot and humid weather for long time. Okay, so these fungal spores are present in air, and when they land on wet and warm surface, they germinate and grow. Okay, so this fungus is a decomposer because it take nutrients from dead and decayed matter, right? Now we will study about symbiotic relationship. Okay, we will study about symbiotic relationship. Now some organisms live together and share both shelter and nutrition with each other. Okay, some organisms live together and share both shelter and nutrients with each other. So those organisms are said to be in symbiotic relationship with each other. Okay, so those organisms are said to be in symbiotic relationship with each other because they are dependent on each other for their survival, for their needs. Okay, like we take example of lichen. Okay, for example, we take lichen. Okay, lichen is an organism in which there is a symbiotic relationship of two organisms. Okay, and what are those two organisms? Algae and fungus. Algae and fungus. So in lichen, there is a symbiotic relationship between two organisms. Okay, though these two organisms live within lichen, they live in a symbiotic relationship. How both of them live in a symbiotic relationship with each other? As we have studied that algae is what? Algae is an autotroph. Algae prepare its own food because it is able to do photosynthesis. So in lichen, algae performs the process of photosynthesis. It manufactures the food. Okay, it manufactures the food, and this fungus provides water and mineral. So algae provides food to fungus, and in return fungus provides water and minerals to algae. Okay, so both of them are dependent on each other. How they are both are dependent on each other? Because algae provides food to fungus as it is able to do photosynthesis, and in return fungus provides water and mineral to algae. Right? Right? So in lichen there is a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungus. Okay. Now we take another example. Okay, now we take another example to understand this. Okay, now some fungus live within the roots of some plants. Okay, some fungus live inside the roots of some plants. Fungus. They live inside the roots of some plants. Okay, this fungus provides water and minerals to plants, and plants provide shelter and nutrients to these fungus. Okay, this fungus provides water and minerals to these plants, and plants provides nutrients and shelter to these fungus. So some fungus also live within the roots of some plants, right? Now in our earlier video we have studied about the process of photosynthesis, in which plants are able to manufacture their own food with the help of chlorophyll pigment. Okay, there is a process of photosynthesis involved. So like we have seen that when plants take carbon dioxide, water and some minerals, with the help of this chlorophyll pigment, they manufacture food. Okay, this is glucose. Glucose is produced. This glucose is a carbohydrate. This glucose is a carbohydrate. We have seen this, how plants produce carbohydrate. This is made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, we have seen this in our earlier video. Now we will study how plants absorb nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen is also very important nutrient for growth and development of plants. So how plants absorb nitrogen we will see in this video, right? And now we know that in air around us 78% is nitrogen. 78% is what gas? It is nitrogen. Okay, so nitrogen is present in abundant quantity, but still plants cannot absorb this nitrogen directly. Okay, plants cannot absorb this nitrogen directly. Okay, plants need nitrogen in some usable form. Okay, plants need nitrogen in some usable form. Plants cannot absorb this nitrogen gas directly. So how plants are able to change this nitrogen gas? So plants need nitrogen in a soluble form. Okay, so now there is a bacteria called rhizobium bacteria. Which bacteria? Rhizobium. This rhizobium bacteria helps in nitrogen fixation. This rhizobium bacteria helps in nitrogen fixation. So what is nitrogen fixation now? Let's understand what is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is the process by which this rhizobium bacteria converts atmospheric nitrogen into the soluble form of nitrate and nitrites. Okay, so this rhizobium bacteria helps in nitrogen fixation by converting atmospheric nitrogen into soluble form of nitrite and nitrates. So this rhizobium bacteria converts atmospheric nitrogen into soluble form. Okay, this process is called nitrogen fixation. Now this rhizobium bacteria, where does this rhizobium bacteria live? It lives inside the roots of some leguminous plants. So this rhizobium bacteria live inside the roots of leguminous plants like moong. Okay, moong, beans, grams and peas. Okay, so this rhizobium bacteria live inside the roots of leguminous plants. Example are moong, beans, grams, peas. Okay, so this rhizobium bacteria, it is living inside the roots of leguminous plants. Now we can say that this rhizobium bacteria is in a symbiotic relationship with these leguminous plants. How we can say this? Because this rhizobium bacteria provides nitrogen to plants. Okay, and in return plants give what? Plants give nutrients and shelter to this rhizobium bacteria, because rhizobium bacteria cannot prepare its own food. Okay, so rhizobium bacteria provides nitrogen to plants because it is helping in nitrogen fixation, and in return plants give nutrients and shelter to this rhizobium bacteria, as it is not able to manufacture its own food. So we can say that rhizobium bacteria and plants are in symbiotic relationship with each other. Okay, that's how plants absorb nitrogen, because it is also very important nutrient for its growth and development, for its immune system, for its reproductive health, right? Okay, okay, so if you have any problems, let me know in the comment section so that we can address those doubts of yours in our next video. Thank you.